Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light. It's shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live. It's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light. It's shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live. It's what I'm living for.
Well, good morning, everyone. Okay, I know you're out there. Good morning, everyone. All right. My name is Michelle LeMay, and I am on the Board of Trustees. I'm also part of the membership team, and we have something very exciting that we're launching today that you'll hear a little bit more in regards to what we're calling the Malama team. Malama means to care for, so we have lots happening today. It's also New Member Sunday. We have Rap with the Revs right after service. So lots going on, lots of excitement. I'm sure you can feel it as you were coming in. And lots of people even returning that we hadn't seen in a while. So lots of excitement. Thank you for joining us this morning. And I'd like to share a little bit more about what Rap with the Revs are. And so this is a monthly event that we're going to be doing every first Sunday. And it's for us to get to know the reverends, but also to just get to know one another a little bit more. So we invite you to stay after. It's super informal. It's especially great for people who are new or just been coming to the center for a little bit or have been away and coming back. However that feels for you, if you have the opportunity to stay after, we invite you to stay. You'll get to know a little bit more about Reverends Rita and Reverend Patrick, their story, how they got here, how the story of the center opening and being here. And even though you may know a little bit of that, there's always little different tidbits. Even if you came last month, there'll be different things that are shared this month. Plus, there'll be different people in the circle. And then we open it up for us to share our stories of other spiritual seekers like ourselves. So we get to know about one another. And it was really fascinating. Last month, we had lots of people stay. And even though I've been seeing people over and over and over, I learned something new about everybody that was there and that shared. And of course, you don't have to share if you don't want to either. That's always by your guidance and how you're feeling. So that's today after service. We always do a little bit of fellowshipping out back after. There's lots of treats that are here as well. And it's just an exciting time. That's all I can keep saying that. And so this Thursday is going to be the very first night that the Flying Solo group is going to be meeting. And Flying Solo is, this is Flying Solo 3, so it's something that we do periodically. And what it is a 6-week program of really a transformative, it's an internal journey, but it's done in a way that is done in a group with the Revs leading it. They have a lot of theatrical background. So part of the process of it is to then reveal something about yourself in that transformation that you'll then do a little 10-minute show for us. And that'll be in October. So it's a 6-week process. You don't have to be an actor. In fact, it's better if you're not. And it's better if this is something that you just want to explore yourself and do something different and stretch your wings a little bit. So that's going to start Thursday. We do have 2 more spots available. It had been asked about scholarships. We're not doing that this time, but when we do Flying Solo 4, we're going to look into that for some of you who were asking about scholarships. So that's going to be starting on Thursday, and it's from 6 to 9, and it's every Thursday for 6 weeks, and then the performance will be October 20th. So then the rest of us who are not participating in that, we can come all and support and hear their stories. So it's something for everybody. And then next Saturday, we have a wonderful event. This is going to be our first time where we're going to have an open house for the youth. The youth center will actually officially open the next day on the 10th. So if you have friends and family that have kids, then please invite them to come check it out on Saturday. It's going to be from 2 to 5. There's going to be pizza. There's going to be clowns. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be, what else is there going to be? Clowns, foods, smoothies, drum circle. So Luis is, oh great, Luis is going to be coming and doing the drum circle. And Zippity to the Clown. So the Zippity the Clown is actually a member of CSL, so you'll have to come and see who he is. We'll keep that You may not be able to tell because he'll be dressed up as a clown. Now we do, and we invite everybody, whether or not you have children, of course, to come support and have a great afternoon. But if you do, please, there's flyers at the information table, and you can grab those on the way out to share with other folks. And then we are looking for volunteers to help that day, to either set up during the event and then after for cleanup. So if that's something that calls to you and you're available on Saturday, please see Reverend Patrick for that. And then we have a really great, the one last bit I would like to share about is Dr. Reverend Peggy Price, who's here in the front. She's going to be doing a 2-day workshop in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be on the Friday the 22nd and Saturday the 23rd, and you do need to commit to both. It's one big event that she's breaking up into 2 classes, essentially, but they do go together and you need to commit to both. But it's all about conflict resolution. Could be revolutions too, because I know when I'm finding stuff about what's conflicting, there's usually some kind of revolution happening just all inside. But you get to take home new tools for peacemaking and just a way to have a different way of being in relationships. So it's going to be a wonderful activity, and we're going to have Reverend Dr. Peggy speak about it coming up shortly. So surprise, not today, but yes. She's just finding out about that now too. So what I'd like to do is invite and introduce Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick.
Aloha. Aloha and mahalo.
So today is a very special day. Good morning, everyone.
Looks like we're about to do a dance number, but I'm just...
And as I looked out into the audience, I thought, oh, all the people aren't here, but I think we're just going to continue anyway, because we don't usually do it at the beginning of service, but this is where we felt would it fit the best. It's New Member Sunday. Yeah, and what that means is we welcome the people that have joined our center and committed their lives to their own spiritual growth and have decided that this is their spiritual home. And they've committed to grow, basically. That's what it's about, and to really get in touch with themselves. And they feel comfortable here, and they feel comfortable with the teaching here and the philosophy here. So they said, oh, this is a great place. I love the community. I just want to be part of this. So we are going to call those people up. We have a little ceremony that we're going to do. And, yeah. So, do you want to say anything else?
Flowers.
Oh, yeah. Reverend Diane's going to come up to join us.
Yeah, and if you are interested in what it does it mean to be a member, we only grow as fast as the commitment of everybody of our family that's here. So just to know that that is what membership means. For me, mostly it means to yourself. But commitment's a really important thing, because as we know that once we make that decision, that everything else comes in and swoops up to support us. So I just really appreciate that kind of commitment. And if you're interested, see Michelle, membership girl.
So I will be announcing everybody's name, whether they're here or not, so that we can acknowledge you. However, if you are here, if you could please come up and receive a rose from Reverend Diane and then stand behind the reverends. We're going to have you all line up and then do a little something special for you.
Get your rose and then go over there and get your card.
Yes, that's right. I have the cards. It is like graduation, kind of. All right. Is Lynn Weiss here today? No? Okay. Dara, I know she just walked in. Yay! Come on up.
I'll give a kiss too.
All right.
I bet you're glad there's only about 4.
And then Jessie. We'd like to introduce and welcome Jessie.
Yay.
Yay!
Hey, brother.
Yay, welcome. It is, yes. Up from the front, it says hugging is a specialty at CSL. It sure is. And his mom, Galen. Yay, welcome. And then I'd like to invite Elizabeth Diamond.
Here's Elizabeth.
Does the bachelor come with this?
I bet the membership will increase at this point.
Yes, sure. Why not? Exactly.
Everybody's out at the
There you go.
information table going,
And these other folks, I believe they're not here. However, I'd still love to acknowledge them because they are here in our hearts and they're here in spirit. Emma Landendecker, Catlin Simpson, Meg Stouter, Crystal Chow, and Robert Gluckson. So how about a round of applause for all of them as well.
So we are going to sing our new member song that we like to sing, which is The Face of God. And Reverend Diane and Peggy are going to help us lead it. And that's basically it. So let's just start it first.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
there we go.
The good part of being a member in a place like this with a philosophy like this is you get to do it to the level that you want to do it. It's not like you have to, jump in and just be everything. You are everything already, but you get to do it at your comfort level. So there's nothing like really expected of you, and if you don't do it, we're gonna like jump in and go, what's the matter with you? No. It's like we welcome you and we nurture your spiritual growth. And this is just, it's your home, and we hope that you will feel that this is your home, and that Patrick and I are very transparent, so anytime you need us, just come to us and ask us. Just talk to us. So thank you for making the commitment. Yay. So, woo, yeah, I love it.
Hallelujah.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so we're going to light our peace candle now, and we do this every Sunday. And today I would like to specially bring into mind not just the people in Houston, but people in California right now, in our home, old stomping ground of North Hollywood and Burbank in that area, are having a really hard time. They've been having some really awful fires. So let's just know the peaceful coming of the rains and all of that, and the winds blowing in the right direction, and just knowing that this is resolved as we just take a moment of silence for peace within ourselves and just radiating that peace out into our world. And so it is. Thank you. So, we practice the science of mind and spirit here, which is just a philosophy that was began by Ernest Holmes, who says he just put some things together. That's the way he explains it, that he doesn't take credit for it. He just says he just put some stuff together. He was a great synthesizer, and he put all the divine teachings throughout history and our evolution together into one thing, which is just that God is all there is. If you're not comfortable with the word God, when we say God here, we're talking about the source and the power that created everything, the infinite intelligence, the love. It's basically God is love, as Emerson said, another word for God is love. So that presence is not separate from us. In fact, it is the very being of us. And so we don't reach to the outside for that. We let it out instead. And the more that we can let it out from that highest place of knowing who and what we are really, the better our lives are. And that's all Ernest Holmes ever wanted, was he wanted us to have good lives. He wanted us to be able to practice this and bring it into our lives, because if we can't practice it, what's the point? If we can't bring it into the everyday world when things are happening, what's the point, right? So it doesn't mean that things don't happen. They do happen, but how are we going to walk in those happenings? What are we going to know when those things are happening, like fires and floods and things like that? What are we going to know? Are we going to walk through as a peaceful person coming from the power, or are we going to walk through like a confused, going crazy, and are we going to be a presence of peace? So it's all about that. It's all about living from that highest place, no matter what is occurring. Yes.
And it's practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
And that's what we come here every week to do, is just practice and just celebrate who we are. It's also a time to see who's here for the very first time, and I know there are a few. If you are, what's that, Rita?
No, I said it was Bring a Friend Sunday.
Right.
Or do we have any new people
I think we
here?
do.
Oh,
We
there's
do.
somebody back there. Yes.
We do, right
somebody
here.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, I'm glad that you are here, because we have a little bit of information about you. I bet you'll be surprised, since we hadn't met you yet. But it's something we want to share. I think we all do as a family here, and we'll go ahead and let you know what we know, okay? You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And we know that about you because we know that about ourselves, because we can't know peace unless we know it from within. We can't know love unless we know it from within, and we cannot know your magnificence unless we know our own. So let's say it together, shall we? I am magnificent. And if you'll look over where the tall Rob Jones is standing, he has a camera. And inside that camera, they are letting everyone on the mainland or even on this island know what's going on in this room. It's called live streaming.
And we have a couple of people
We certainly
that
do.
we
We wanna
want to
shout
acknowledge,
out.
because they told us they're going to be watching, and that's Judah Freed, who is in LA right now.
That's
so we're
right.
going to let him know, and Tandy and Cindy Harvey.
Cindy Harvey.
So, and I know there's others watching.
I
but
know there's a
so-
whole
and
bunch.
for
But
everybody
anyway,
else, so let's
yeah.
let them know. Oh, Beverly's
Beverly.
watching. Oh, yes,
Beverly. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
and Michael Fox.
Carrie.
Okay, we could go on forever, but we won't. But anyway, I'm very glad about Beverly because Beverly is in the Discovery Healing, and so she is watching right now. So we love you, and we send you all the healing energy you need. So
right.
knowing that, we should let them know who they are.
You
are
magnificent.
magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right. Just tell somebody who they are, will you?
Magnificent.
You are magnificent.
You're magnificent.
You are. Amarosa is, and Kyle.
You are magnificent.
How did you get it? How did you get out?
You are magnificent.
I knew you would. Okay, let's stand up with all that magnificence and have our opening song, shall we? I think we remember this.
Away, away. So much loving in the world.
That's right. Let your body go.
Away,
away.
So much loving in the world. Living together as one. Under the golden sun. Living together as one. Under the golden sun. Blow Makani. Cleanse my soul. Blow Makani. Cleanse my soul. Away, away. So much loving in the world. Away, away. So much loving in the world. Living together as one. Under the golden sun. Living together as one. Under the golden sun. Blow Makani. Cleanse my soul. Blow Makani. Cleanse my soul.
And as we take time right here and right now to cleanse our soul, knowing that our soul has always been pure, that pure spot where God is always. So what I know right here, that we have come together on purpose, come together in celebration of our true identity, which is good. God, call it whatever you want, but it is good and it is whole and it is complete. So I know that we unfold today as a family, and we welcome all of those people who are here for the first time and all the people that are watching online, knowing that we are connected. We are globally connected from this place of love, from this place of absolute light and love. I know this to be the absolute truth of my being. I know it for each and every one of us, that we have come here to remember who and what we are, and that is good. That is God. So let us go forth now from moment to moment, celebrating our greatness, celebrating life, celebrating love, as together we say, and so it is.
Away, away. So much loving in the world. Away, away. So much loving in the world. Living together as one. Under the golden sun. Living together as one. Under the golden sun. Blow Makani. Cleanse my soul. Blow Makani. Cleanse my soul.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Diane Decker. I'm a staff minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm grateful that you've chosen to join us today. After that lovely song bringing us together as one community, I invite you to turn within, to that place of stillness within yourself, that place where spirit resides within you and brings forth the peace, the love, the joy that you really are. From the teachings of Ernest Holmes, I bring you a thought to think about during our time of meditation. Conscious decision is the starting point of every new creation. Conscious decision is the starting point of every new creation. Enjoy your peace. Conscious decision is the starting point of every new creation. And so in this moment, I center my mind on the one power, the one presence, the one love that is right here. Right here. And I know that it is expressing in and through me, it is expressing in and through everyone here today. I give thanks for the knowledge that this power is expressing as beauty and joy. It is expressing as peace of mind and clear thinking. It is expressing as divine abundance and wellness in every cell of the body. And I know that this all begins with my knowledge that my thinking makes it so. And I declare my word today, knowing that the power, the presence, and the love of God is moving through me to bring forth a new creation in my life and the lives of everyone within the sound of my voice. And so I give thanks that this new creation is already born. It is born in our mind with our own decision to thrive, our own decision to be well, to be abundant, to be joy-filled, to be filled with peace, And so all the good in the universe is now rushing forward to bring forth the perfect manifestation of that prayer. I am so grateful. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you for my connection to the one life. Thank you for our connection to the one life and the way the law makes it so. The universe always says yes, and so I am knowing and believing and understanding for each one of us that the universe has said yes in this moment, and it is bringing forth the perfect manifestation of this prayer in the right way for each one of us today. And so I simply rest. There's not a thing I need to do. I just need to show up for it, and I do. I show up for it today as my divine expression of the one power, the one presence, and the one love. And as we each make that decision for ourselves, I invite you to join me by anchoring this prayer with, and so it is. Amen. Blessed be. Hallelujah even. Mahalo.
Aloha. Oh, decisions, decisions, decisions. Yes, that's what this whole month is going to be about. And the book, The Power of a Decision, if you haven't read it, is like a book. How many times have you read it, honey? 9. Like 9, 10. It just reminds you of how important it is to make a decision. And to make a true decision, which is what I want to talk about today, a true decision. Because I know when I make a true decision, the universe backs me 100%. And I know it because I've had experiences in my life of that happening. And there's this beautiful book. We don't have it in the bookstore, sorry. It's called Bridging Heaven and Earth. Maybe we will get it. It's basically a bunch of different poems and things like that. And it's about oneness. And he talks about decisions in it. And he says, most of us live in indecision. Most of us live in indecision. We cannot decide what we want. And he says, as long as you remain in indecision, you will go nowhere. All you have to do is make a true decision, and you will come into wholeness. Your energy will unblock as the life force begins to flow. You will get what you want. The truth is, the outcome is contained in the decision. Once we make a decision, the outcome is contained in the decision. It's the old acorn metaphor, you know, that the oak tree is in the acorn. Within you is everything needed to bring forth your decision. But if you don't make a decision, then, or if you say you don't know, or you don't commit a decision, then the universe doesn't know what to do with you. And I mean, I've had both experiences, but I also have examples, so many examples of making decisions. And at one point, about, I don't know how long ago, a while back, we made a decision to be debt-free. And as soon as we made the decision, like it got just too much to be the other way, as soon as we made the decision, and it was a real, true decision, followed by action, which I'll talk about in a minute, we started to become debt-free. And we went through a process, because sometimes we feel like we have to have a process to go through things. We were talking about that in class the other night. Sometimes we don't think we can make an instantaneous like demonstration, that we have to go through a process. Another decision I made, was to become a full-time minister. As soon as I graduated from ministerial school, I said, I'm going to be a full-time minister. And I really meant it. But then I had to take action on it. I had to do what was mine to do in order to make it happen. And everything just unfolded in a way that it happened. At first, I was told, no, you can't. A person I went to become their assistant minister, they said, no, you can't do that. I don't need somebody right now. And he did. But he just didn't know it. Anyway, I just said, I think you need me. Anyway, I said, and you don't have to pay me right now, because I know that God is the source of my supply. And then the next day he came back and he said, you know what? I think I think that maybe it is a good idea. So what ended up happening, which was interesting, I went in faith, and about 2 weeks later, he was going to pay me a certain amount. It wasn't very much. And a couple of weeks later, the person that was the administrator just happened to up and leave. So I was able to be an assistant minister plus be the administrator and get a salary. So it was, but I had to take the action first. I actually left my job because I had that kind of faith. You don't always have that kind of faith. I've left my job at other times and ended up, forget it. Yeah, I've done that. I mean, I can think of times right now. Another decision I made was when we came to Kauai, and you all, heard that story. But we knew that we needed to we needed to start our own work. We just knew that. You have a choice when you become a minister. You can become someone else's minister, staff minister, or assistant minister. You can get a letter or call. You can, just so you'd have a little education on this, you can start your own work. You could be a focus minister. And that's about it, because you have to do something. You can't just have a license and not do anything with it. So, but Patrick and I somehow knew that we had to have our own work. We knew that pretty much from the beginning. When I went to get that other job, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it, but it was kind of a transitionary period. But we knew. And when the time was right, it just was right, and everything fell into place. But we had to make some movement. We've always made a decision to have a beautiful home here. We just came out of, we had a consciousness of living, and there's nothing wrong with this. Please understand, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm not saying it, but we had a consciousness of just living in apartments when we lived in LA, because we didn't believe that we could have a house there, we just had a consciousness of apartments, and that's fine. And we lived in an apartment for I don't know, a lot of years, 12 years or something. And we finally said, you know what, we're done with this. We want to have a house. We made a decision. It didn't happen right away, but then it happened, and everything fell into place for it to happen because we made the decision. And it was a real, true decision followed by action. And so when we came here, we were like, oh, you can't have a house in Kauai. That's impossible. And we were like, no, it's not impossible. We did it in LA. We can do it here. And so we did. But it was a decision. It was in our hearts. It was a decision, a true decision. And then when we made the decision to go from the hotel to here, it was kind of forced on us in a way, because we knew it had to happen, and then they kicked us out. But because we were procrastinating our decision. But as soon as they kicked us out, we were like, oh my God, now we were forced into a decision. We've got to have a place to go, right? And then this happened. And that's another story. So these were true decisions. Why? You got to find it out for yourself, but in your heart when you're making a true decision, when you feel committed to something. You know it, because you're not vacillating anymore. And there's another thing. When I was an actress in LA, I did not make a true decision. I was finding all kinds of reasons why it couldn't happen, even though I was saying I was pursuing it. But I was still, I'll go here and do this, and I'll go here and do that. And it never happened for me, because I just kept not making a decision about it. Unlike Sylvester Stallone, who, if you ever heard his story, I mean, it's amazing. He just was like, no, I'm only going to act, and I don't care what happens to me. He even sold his dog at one point, I think. And he got the dog back at some point. But it was a true decision he made. It was a true decision. He was committed. So what's the difference? For me, a true decision also is followed by action, which I've talked about already. You have to do something. My mentor, James Mellon, wrote a book called Mental Muscle, and he said, a decision is a desire activated. So you might have a desire. We might have desires about a lot of things, but if we don't activate the desire, it stays a desire. So think of times in your life where you've had desires. Have you taken action on them? If you've decided to write a book, let's say, really decided, did you take action on writing the book? Did you actually go to the computer or your pad and start writing it? I know, for me, I always say, oh, I'm going to learn another language. I have not decided to learn another language because I have not. So, have you decided, and have you followed it by action? So I used to know a person, there's decisions he would have to write everything down, pros and cons of his decision. If he went this way, this would happen. If he went that way, this would happen. And pretty soon, what happens when you do that? Nothing, right? And especially since all the pros and cons that you're giving are in the world of form or based on past experience. So you're saying things like, oh, well, if I do this decision, then it'll cost a lot of money. But if I go over here, and then you start arguing with yourself, and you pretty much talk yourself out of it. And that's usually what happened with this person. And I happen to be in the aftermath, but that's another story. Okay. Which brings me to another point. If you don't make a decision, somebody's going to make one for you, right? You're going to live in someone else's decision, whatever that is, if you don't make a decision. So that was the case in that one. Yeah. So it's based on physical facts or the past. And we have a saying in Science of Mind that says, principle, which is God is all there is, and there's a law of our being that answers yes. Principle is not bound by precedent. Now, do you know why? Because principle doesn't know anything but now. So when you talk into principle and say and make a decision, it fulfills it for you in ways that you can't even imagine. Things come to you and through you, and it's all coming through you, and you could not think it up yourself. Take my word. You could not think it up yourself. And don't try to. That's called outlining. Don't try to think it up yourself. Just make a true decision and then allow principle or the law of our being or that power working through us to take us where we need to go. And you can ask, you can say, what's mine to do? And what's mine to do? What's mine to do? I'll do what I need to do, and then this power that's working through me will do what I couldn't possibly do with my finite mind. Because a lot of times we are thinking with our finite minds. That's one of the setbacks of all this, is we have to let go. We have to surrender to it. So the second type of decision, there's a decision that's made from outside circumstances, and the other one is made from divine intuition. You just know that you know. I'm sure you've all had those experiences in your life where you just know that you know. And if you haven't, I suggest and I invite you to get real quiet with yourself. And sometimes you know that you know, but you don't want to listen to it. Right? You say, oh yeah, I know I'm supposed to be doing that, but this might be a little easier or whatever. But when you know that you know, and if you listen to that, you're going to be backed 100%. And then the other thing is, once you make the decision, it really does take faith. I talked about that last week, that there's something called faith and trust that you have to have, that you have to let go to, that you have to let it work through you and trust the law of your being to do it. And I just think when we get real quiet with ourselves and just ask, and when we hear the answer, be willing to make the decision, be willing to give it all we've got, be willing to turn away. We have this saying in Science of Mind and Spirit, we turn away from the condition. We turn away from the condition in treatment. By the way, what Reverend Diane was doing when she was up here was called the spiritual mind treatment, where we affirm the truth. Because the truth is that you can change whatever is in... Our life is run by our subconscious mind. You might not think it is, but it is. And when we don't make a decision to change that subconscious mind and the things that are working in there from our past and from looking outside and all that, it takes over. It's running our life, basically. So that's why we use spiritual mind treatment, is to affirm that we want something different, to make a decision, a conscious decision, and then allow it to, it's like pouring clean, beautiful, amazing water into the subconscious mind that's saying, I want to let go of that now, and I want this. I want this. I want this, and I just let go of that, and I just affirm this. And we change, that's the whole basis of this teaching, is for us to not be run by our subconscious mind, to make conscious decisions, like Reverend Diane said in her quote, We make conscious decisions, and if we don't, it'll be made for us. And then what's the other thing we do? I just have to do this one. We second guess our decisions, right? Sometimes. Have you ever done that? You make a decision, and then that's kind of like the pro and con thing. Then you're like, well, do I really? Well, no. Somebody told me the other day, the first choice you make is usually the right one, right? Like, remember on those tests where we all changed our answers? Because in the deep of you, you know. And when you study for a test, it's in there, it's in there. And it's working, and you know. So consciously, Ernest Holmes actually wrote, consciously think and decide our decisions will be made for us. So consciously decide. Yeah. And there is a power in the universe, he said, that honors our faith in it. There is a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. So we have to have faith. We have to make a decision, then we have to have faith. And we're going to be talking about that all this month, about decisions. And there's different ones that we make for different things, and we're going to be talking about that. But, yeah. You're on for the ride? Yeah, I think. And I think by the end of this month, I'm going to know that we're all going to be making true decisions about parts of our lives that we want to experience. Okay? That's what I'm going to know in truth. By the end of this month, if not sooner, we're going to know clearly what decision we're going to make, what decision we want, and we're actually consciously going to make it, and we're going to know that there's a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. And as Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. That is the truth. Right? And so it is.
We've been through the night. Until now, only stardust inside how bright you glisten. As you whispering, it's time to wake up again. The earth could be heaven, and is always giving. Willing, the earth should be heaven, paradise without it within. The answer we're searching for, the heart already knows. Anything we need to be free, it all shows in the heart. Where we'll find the answer, it's in the heart. When will you come again? Whispering in the wind, or any way that brings you happiness. Talk to me, I will listen. The earth could be heaven, and is always giving. Willing, the earth should be heaven, paradise without it within. The answers we're searching for, the heart already knows. Anything we need to be free, it all shows in the heart. Where we'll find the answer, it's in the heart. Remember when you said it'll all become alright. Remember when you said you'd never leave, and how no matter what you'd always love me. In a world where so much isn't what it seems, the truth keeps shining through every dream. And love really does heal everything. Love is the answer, whatever we believe in. If we all were willing to love again and forgive like we want to be forgiven, the earth could be heaven, we'd be flying, flying. The earth could be heaven, we'd be flying, flying. The earth should be heaven, we'd be flying, flying. would need to be freed or chosen thought. Well, love is the answer from the heart.
Mahalo. Aloha, everyone. Yeah. Something just came to my mind, and you know me, if it comes in, it goes out. I just want to reinforce this idea of decision making and just kind of call a couple people out. I know that Kalaheo is just filled with runners this morning. And so I know a couple people who made a decision to get here and probably forgot about that there were people jogging all over the streets, but they are here now. So Otto and Rebecca, thank you so much. It's just wonderful. You made me just reinforce Rita's idea. Make a decision and you'll get here, because I know how difficult that can be. Decisions, who likes making decisions? Good. That's great. You can go now. That's great. I mean, we do enjoy making decisions. I mean, sometimes, except when they come in and they seem complex, and then we go, and then we have to weigh it out and do all that. But I was thinking, first of all, the power of decision, the reason I like it so much is because Raymond Charles Barker, he doesn't make it nice for you. He just kind of calls it like it is. And I think we're kind of, even though love is what we are surrounded from and from within, there does come a time when we have to just say, okay, everybody, wake up. And this is what I love about him. I don't always enjoy him. I read a few pages of him again today, and I just went, he's harsh. You know, even for me, after 9 times or 10 times reading that, I'm going, ooh, it's kind of mean, you know? But actually, it's not. It's just saying, let's wake up, man. Let's look at this great thing that we have, and it's about the decision. And this is one of his. It says, as long as you are thinking and feeling what you do not want, your mind will continue to create your private, self-accepted hell on earth. And I go, wow, okay, let's not mince words around it. Let's just get right to the point. And I was thinking about this whole idea of making decisions. And I've got 2 areas I'm going to go into today. And one is I did find a decision maker for you so that you won't have to worry about it. And I don't use props often, but I will let you know that this remote control makes lots of decisions while you're watching television. Does it not? Has anybody ever channel surfed? Probably not as much in Kauai, because people don't have a lot of TVs here and that kind of stuff. But believe me, there's a metaphor behind this. And there's a reason why they call it the universal remote. Oh, I see you're with me now. But there's something that I noticed about this, is that if you've ever really channel surfed, well, first of all, let's go back to TV in the beginning. When I was a kid, you're not going to believe this, but there wasn't even a color TV yet. Just pretty much right when I was young, it came in. I mean, it came in later on, probably when I was about 12. But what was great about that is there was this thing for all of you that don't remember it, Kyle. It's actually, you actually had to get up out of the chair and change your channel. And you had to do it like this. So therefore, I was thinking to myself, this took a lot of that procrastination. The decision-making became a little clearer when you didn't have to get up and change those channels like we do today. There are 189 channels to choose from. And that's not the movie stuff. That's just 189 times you can go clicking through. I had from channels, 2 to 13, and half of those were fuzzy. You can see how I'm getting closer to the point of my talk about our minds. 2 through 13 was the choice. Now, here's some good news. Out of those 189 channels that we get to choose from, only 17 really get focused on. But this is the idea behind it. If you've ever watched anybody channel surf, they're just like this. Not even 20 seconds, not even 10 seconds is there an allowing for it to land. And if you ask someone, what are you looking for? I don't know. If you've ever watched it, what are you looking for? I don't know. Something to come out there in here to stick. A sensation, a feeling, a move. But you don't stay long enough. You don't stay long enough to find out what it is that you even want. Thus, my message for today. Wow, all of those channels, we are this wonderful powerhouse that just has all these beautiful channels running through us. But we have to stay long enough after we make a decision to find out whether or not it's what we want. So it would help before you start clicking away. And you know, actually, channel surfing is kind of fun because you just kind of go, oh, that's what's out there. Oh, I didn't know that was out there. I didn't know that was out there. But you still, for me, have to stay long enough to grasp it. So what are we channel surfing in our life right now? Love, perhaps. But we have a lot of things going on trying to make decisions. And when we go to make decisions, don't we have a lot of stuff flying around in there, like Rita was saying, the pros, the cons. The other day, I had the absolute glorious question asked to me by a very highly evolved young man. We were talking about decision making and once you make it, and this person's made a really big decision and is moving with it. You can tell it. It's fire up. You know, I'm doing this. And he looked at me and he said, does it ever get easier? Does it ever get easier? Now, you can take that in many ways. Is that life? Is that making decisions? And my answer immediately was yes. But it gets easier. And let's define easy. If easy means you get to sit on your couch, which is nothing wrong with it, and just keep channel surfing and not take the action, I would probably say no. It doesn't get easier. But this is what gets easier. And I believe that a decision is like making a contract, an agreement with yourself. Making an agreement with yourself that says, I have decided to do this. And have you ever broken agreement to yourself? Oh my God, right? It's like, that's why when you make a true decision, it's not as, and then you spend time beating yourself up and it goes on and on. But I'm talking about making that one decision. And there's a clause in this contract that a lot of us forget. And that is that I have made a decision, and the clause is with ease and grace. Ease and grace. But we forget that sometimes because usually we say, oh, I made a decision. I'm going to plow through this. I'm going to get it no matter what happens, I'm going to get there, right? And that is called the hero's struggle. We talked about it in the mental equivalent on Wednesday night. The hero struggle is this: the idea that success is supposed to be triumphant, that it's supposed to involve lots of struggling so that the success is sweeter and more dramatic. Not everybody follows that. Just remember when we talk up here and we speak, I say something, this is my journey. And if it fits into your journey, hallelujah. And if it doesn't, then use it where it is. But what I do know is that this, once again, making a decision doesn't mean you have to struggle in order to accomplish it. Because here's why I know that it can be with ease and grace. Yeah, but with no pain, no gain. That's, I don't know what to say, ridiculous. Because what has happened is once you put in the clause, I've decided to do this, and ease and grace is how it's going to show up in my life, then every bit of the power that's within you, within everything, will back you and support you every part of the way. And we were also talking about, does it mean that you don't doubt? That you don't go, what the heck did I do? No, it doesn't. It means that you have something to turn and rely on once again, and that's the power within you. Can you imagine us being afraid to make a decision when the very decision that we're making is backed by the very power that created us in the first place? Right? The very power that created us in the first place is backing our decision. So what's left? To do it? To action? What is it? Consciousness. There you go. It's just taking your consciousness. Now, making decisions for me means being true to myself. And the other thing that I realize is a lot of my decisions can't be made making sure that you're going to all be happy with them. That's the one that kicks my spiritual booty, to be honest with you. Because I just love for all of you to love the decisions that I'm making. And it doesn't work that way. But here it is. There's win-win. It's win-win. We don't have to, my decision, now I know I've made a lot of decisions in my life, the power of my decision, that have not pleased a lot of people. And instead of getting all defensive and going into that whole realm of life, just be strong with the decision that you make. And then allow that to just transform everything. I think that for me, I need to spend less time on stressing about making a decision and more time on living and loving and allowing this whole thing to come forth. So as we start this month of Power of Decision, I think for me, I'm in the same boat as this beautiful Reverend Rita. I know that if we commit, no matter what, in the beginning of this month, just like we did last month with ease and grace, if we take an opportunity to say, my decisions are valid, that what I believe is for my life is valid and it's valuable. And you need to have that value for yourself. And if someone else doesn't, that's okay too. I think it's time we all start knowing that we're not all dancing the same dance, but we are coming from the same source. So I know you can make any decision for your life, and if you've been procrastinating, I know nobody in this room, but if you've ever procrastinated, this is the time. If you've got a divine idea that's sitting inside of you right now, how dare you not share it? How dare you not share it? Because it's a gift. It's a gift. And don't worry about how it's going to unfold. So with everything else, we ended last week with self-love, did we not? All of this is great, but if you're not backed by self-love, and self-love is just taking a moment to just remember who you are. And I talked about 2 minutes last time. I said, if you ever have any problems making a decision, stop for a moment. Stop. Hold your heart. And remember how much you love yourself. How worth you are falling in love with. So I'm going to do a little thing today from our I forgot who made it up, but from our wonderful New Thought history, and that is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. So what I'd like you to do, if you choose, hold yourself, yeah. Take a nice deep breath. Before you make any decisions, Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me, shall we say it? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. Again.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me.
What that does for us is allows us to stop, be present, be at one. And from this point, I'm vibrating right now, so I know for an absolute fact that that's the place I need to be before I make any decision. Namaste.
Good job, honey. Yay. It's good. It's going to be a very powerful month. I already feel it.
Me too.
So we have a new song, too. So this is our time of giving and allowing ourselves to make the decision to know that we have all we require and more and more and more. So as we give, we receive. I know that. And we are grateful for all the beautiful donations that come to our center from everywhere, not just in this room, but from everywhere. So thank you, thank you, thank you, as we affirm the sacred giving affirmation. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. So it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
Still not on. There we go. In the power of this energy of gratitude, I give thanks for these gifts that have come to the Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that we are all part of that divine flow of abundance, that Spirit is moving in and through each one of us in a divine, abundant flow of good. I give and I receive and I give, and so I say thank you, Spirit within me, for bringing forth this divine bounty and allowing it to bless the world in this wonderful way. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And so it is.
Oh, that's Christine. Thank you, Reverend Diane. You taking it? Yeah. Okay, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah. So a couple of things. First of all, we want to mention the children. I don't know if there are any children here today. There's Itukai is here. If he wants to come up
Everett.
and Everett, why don't you guys come up and be recognized? Yay.
Everett.
Yay. Yay.
Come on, Itukai.
So we are starting a youth program, and we are grateful to Janice Perez and to George Dempsey, who have so willingly take this big thing on. It is a big thing, I know, because Patrick was a youth minister in our old center where we came from, and I used to help him, and it is a big deal to really take care of the children of a center. So thank you, Janice and George. And we love to give a blessing every Sunday for all the kids, not just these two here, although they're special to us. So are all children. So we just know right here and right now that power that we talked about today is right wherever it is right where Itukai is right where all children are anywhere in the world. It's everywhere present, and it is moving and living and breathing in all its magnificence, bringing forth whatever it is theirs to have and do and be, and they are guarded and protected and loved, and I know they are supported. So I just open my heart to know this in my mind and to affirm it and to give thanks for it as we affirm together. And so it is. Thank you, guys. Yay. So next Sunday, we're going to repeat it again. Next Saturday, right? Next Saturday is our open house. Please invite all children to come to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have all kinds of, and families. And it says that our youth program is for 5 through 12, but that day is for everybody. And we would have a youth center that had everybody, but right now we can't do it because we don't have the manpower nor the facility to do it yet. But right now we're just starting with 5 through 12. So, except for Itukai, he's a special.
He's called grandfathered in.
He's grandfathered in.
He's a special. Itukai is the special one. He says, "Come on in."
And
we love our.
So the other thing I want to mention is the bookstore. You might wonder why Reverend Roseanne Jones is back there. But Reverend Diane is now focusing more on her ecclesiastical duties and also on beautification that she does with her wife, Sue, and that's more than enough for one person. So thank goodness we have Roseanne, who was just looking for somewhere to be, and since she became a practitioner, to have like a ministry in the bookstore. So, and she really wanted to do this. So change is good, right? Yay, check it out.
So
check
let's
out the
give a
bookstore.
thank to Reverend
Yeah,
Diane
thank
for
you to
all
Reverend
that you
Diane.
have put in.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
everything.
For everything. Yeah, so what else? Anything else? Oh,
There's
practitioners.
practitioners.
There'll be practitioners up here to assist you if you would like to have a spiritual mind
Malia,
treatment. If you want to get
Reverend
some of
Diane.
that clogginess out of your subconscious mind, they will do it for you. And the Malama team is here to nurture you if you are having questions about the center or want to know something or want to talk to somebody. You don't have to feel alone. They have a little badge on that says Malama team. So
We're fancy schmancy
do they want to
now,
stand
aren't
up? Who are they?
we? Yes.
You?
Yeah, Malama team.
Rob,
Malama, mama,
yeah,
Malama,
let's
papa.
Yeah, let's
Mal-
thank our,
and-
so if you have any questions, they're the people to go to, all right? So we're growing.
We
When
are
were doing
growing.
we always do a pre-service prayer. When we were back there in there, we could hardly fit in the office anymore. There were
That's
so
true.
many. That was like so awesome.
And
That's
today, a lot
awesome.
of people brought little goodies. I mean, we don't have it like every Sunday, but today I was watching people coming in, and there's a beautiful cake, right? That's gluten-free. Is that correct? There we go. So we have a whole bunch of things going on here. So mahalo
Yay.
for bringing your stuff.
And come join for Rap with the Revs. Like, in about 10 minutes, we'll start it. Okay?
All right,
All right.
great.
So we're ready.
So I can see clearly now, can you?
Yes, I can see clearly now.
So everybody want to stand up and see clearly to make those decisions that you have to make.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. All of the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Ready? Okay, so we're going to take a moment for gratitude. So let's just put our hands on our hearts and be grateful for ourselves, first of all. Be grateful for ourselves because we are the creators of our life. We are those wonderful, amazing beings that are here to do good in the world. I know that, and we do, and give our individual gifts. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for my beautiful partner, Patrick FEren, and for each and every person here who adds to the center in their amazing ways. And I would like to give a special gratitude for the people that served today, that made sure we felt comfortable and got things done. And that would be Michelle, who takes our announcements always to an amazing level. And for heading the Malama team, thank you, Michelle. Thank you to Ron LeMay and Angela and Saratina for being part of that team today and for greeting everyone and for taking care of them. Malama means to nurture, to take care of, and they did and do. I want to thank Reverend Diane for her beautiful, amazing meditation and treatment and for everything else she does here. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And to Rob Jones, who so stalwartly stands back there every Sunday and makes sure that the message is brought out into the world. Thank you, Rob. And thank you, Jonathan, for making sure we're heard. And when things go wrong, for just jumping in and trying to figure it out when we can't. So thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. I would like to thank Ron Stover, who just like every week, and anytime we ask him, just jumps into hospitality, and he's so good at it. And for all the people that helped him today, who I don't know who they are, but I'm thanking them anyway. I'm looking back there to see Analia. Yes, Analia's back there. Thank you, Analia. And thank you, Roseanne, for doing the bookstore and for managing it and making it amazing. And Janice and George for taking our kids. And Maria Christina, thank you for your beautiful music as always. And Luis for just jumping in and being willing to support with your beautiful drums. Thank you. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful right now for this teaching too, this philosophy that helps me to have a better life. And I know it does that for each and every one of us here as we make those powerful decisions this week. I know that we are making them already and that our lives are unfolding perfectly. And a special knowing for the people in California that the gentle rains are here and right now, and that they are guarded and protected and guided in that experience. And for the people of Texas also, that everything is unfolding perfectly there and they have all the support and help that they need. All is well, all is well, all is well. I know it, I claim it, I announce it, I affirm it as I take this word with gratitude and release it as the law of my being into the law of my being as we say together, and so it is.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Gone at the dark clouds that... Sorry. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Bright, sunshiny day.
Thank you so much.